Hey guys, it's Broken Angel, and today we're playing A Little Inconvenience. This is a visual novel, and here is the warning. A Little Inconvenience is a 17 plus game that contains the following content: blood, grotesque discussion of cutting up fish, blood, fish guts, their smell, kidnapping, manipulation, murder, stalking, and an unhealthy obsession with another human being. The game also contains flashing and flickering lights, which can be turned off in the settings. Please be advised while playing and take care of yourself. By clicking OK, you're confirming that you're okay with the viewing the aforementioned content. Okay? Okay, so let's get started. Love always begins with a flicker. For us, that flicker happened 1 year ago inside the quick stop, when I hurried out from my car to avoid the torrential downpour outside. I had a long mundane day at the fish market, taking out the fish from that week's shipment, cutting and cleaning them while their blood and guts got on me, dealing with pesky customers. The place used to smell rancid, the customers used to be kind and warm, but slowly all of that disappeared. It felt like I walked into a space of nothingness, operating on instinct until I got home and did the same there. Even the euphoric feeling of cutting open the fish and seeing their blood slowly seep out onto the white cutting board dulled on me. Everything in my life up to that point that used to make me feel something became nothing. That was until I heard that angelic voice of yours. Welcome on in. What should have been just an in and out visit at the convenience store to grab some cheap beer became a spark that restarted my heart. I looked up and saw you, a shining ray of light in a boring world of grey. You were looking up from your phone as if my presence allured you. I saw your eyebrow quirk, ever so slightly, and that's when I realised we'd been staring at each other for far too long. But could you blame me? Your face was enchanting. It seemed like God had put all this time into creating the perfect person. Your beautiful brown eyes, and your soft round face with adorably pinchable cheeks, enhanced by the perfect touches of makeup that help bring out your beauty, inside and out. Turning my head forward, I walked, not rushed, over to the coolers and picked out a random beer can. I grabbed some snacks on the way to the register, some sugary candy and a bag of chips. I wonder what you thought of me when I came up to you with a random assortment of goods. Hopefully nothing too awful. That's when I took notice of your scratched up name tag. Written in faded black marker was your name. What is your name, my angel? It is Angel. Whoops. There we go. Then when I took notice of your scratched up name tag, written was your name, Angel. What a beautiful name. You having a movie night? You asked me with a simple question while scanning my items. I honestly wasn't expecting the small talk. Oh, I was just assuming that that's what your plans were based on your selection. Candy, chips, and a nice cold drink make a late night movie 10 times better. I didn't plan on it. It's been a day, but I guess a movie would be better than just sitting around, yeah? You shrugged your shoulders. Maybe. My idea of fun might be different from yours. At the time, your idea of fun sounded better than anything I could ever come up with. Even now, that's all still true. But if you need some movie recommendations, I'm always happy to give you some. Free of charge, of course. Your smile radiated such a welcoming warmth, and I remember feeling the world around me grow brighter because of it. Sure. Hit me with them. If you're not a scaredy cat, I recommend The House Down the Road or Satan's Advocate, but if you're into thrillers, Blink Twice is a must watch. Oh, I loved Blink Thrice. I nervously gripped at my shark tooth necklace, twirling it around in between my fingers. Really? That's That one's a sleeper hit, so I don't know anyone who's seen it before. Well, now you do. I remember smiling and throwing a casual wink your way, but I don't know how it came across. My smile would never be as charming as yours, but I can only hope that it's at least a fraction as good. But it must have been passable because you chuckled in response. Well, then you should definitely watch one of my other recs. You seem like a Satan's advocate kind of guy. If you ever come back here, you need to tell me what you thought of it. Promise? My mind lingered on your proposal as you stuffed my purchases into a medium-sized brown bag with the words, "Have a nice day," on the front. You then put that into another bag as insurance from the rain outside. You wanted to see me again? I remember thinking to myself. It was strange to hear that, said so genuinely instead of empty words that were only ever exchanged as a form of politeness. Your tone was casual, but it didn't lack emotion. There was a subtle hint of cheerfulness behind it. You were seriously looking forward to the prospect of seeing me again. It was a I think you meant breath, of fresh air to see someone be so truthful and kind. So that's why I responded the way I did, with the same level of genuineness that you'd shown me. I promise. Your eyes twinkled like a beautiful star in the night sky, and my heart fluttered at the stunning sight. How did you manage to get more beautiful with each passing second? Awesome. It'll be fun to have a regular to talk movies with. You pressed a few buttons on the POS. Alright, your total comes to $16.72. I didn't want our thrilling interaction to end, but I couldn't push my luck. I knew that, at least. Although I saw you as one, I was just a stranger to you, but in time, I'd become something more. I slid my card into the reader. I hesitated to take it out when the reader beeped the first time, and quickly glanced at you one last time before retrieving it. Have a safe trip home, okay? Vision's horrible out there. Thanks. And you as well. I bowed my head a couple of times and jetted out of there back to my car. All the sounds of the outside world, the sharp ding of the convenience store bell, the rain, and me slamming my car door closed when I entered. All of it was drowned out by my unsteady heart rate. The drive home was a complete blur because I only had you on my mind. Even during the movie, as I took sips of my cheap beer, all I could think about was you. And somehow, thinking of you made the beer taste a bit better than it had any right to. As I got ready for bed, I turned to the counter where the extra brown paper bag stood, completely safe from the rain. That extra insurance you gave me, you didn't need to do that, but you did. You thought of my well-being at that moment. You wanted to make life easier for me. Angel. My slender hand caressed the bag in the same spots your hands had touched it, and sensation ran down my spine. The last time I felt that way was when I first started gutting the fish back at the fish shop. That was one of the feelings I've missed, but you've brought it back to me. That's kind of weird that you compared it to that. That's not okay. I hugged the bag and crinkled it under my tight embrace as I imagined it was you in my arms. That's also not okay. Thank you for gifting me with your presence. As a thank you, I'll become something you treasure eternally. You just don't know it yet. One year later. Angel's point of view. Sometimes I wonder if it's okay being content with a life like mine. People always have high ambitions for life. Some want to star in a blockbuster movie, others want to become a star athlete, and then there are a few who want to just hold sold-out concerts at Madison Square Garden or run Greater 1st of May. Me, I'm just okay with living a mundane life. I wake up, pet my dog Oreo, take some time to look over my pottery that I've been working on, go to my job, and then come back home and have a nice warm dinner waiting for me. The job part sucks, but what job doesn't suck at least a little bit, especially customer service? But being an assistant general manager is a job that pays the bills and a little bit extra. A happy life with a job that pays enough and gives me enough time to breathe so I can do my own little adventures. What's not to love about a life like that? But I can't help but wonder how others view my life. Not that I care about what they have to say. After hearing my long-winded spiel, my boss shoots me a worried look. Maybe I should have left the bit about my job out. Then again, he knows the woes I suffer better than anyone as someone who's been running his own business for 20 plus years. Angel, you're young. You should be living life to the... I raise my hand and he stops in his tracks. Boss, I appreciate you throwing your old wisdom on me, but like I said, I'm fine. Besides, I don't need you spewing all that. I wish I did more when I was a youthful lad. I was not going to use those exact words, but you understand why I'm concerned for you, right? But I'm happy. There's nothing wrong with being content with a cozy little life with the occasional thrill here and there. I don't need the life of a movie star, or have to do death-defying stunts that I can cross off my bucket list to have a fulfilling life. My life as it is perfect. Listen, there's only 4 individuals in my life who can have an opinion on what I do. Oreo, my parents, and before I can finish my thought to my boss who's buying a few items, the sharp sound of the doorbell rings. And in walks Darius, who's wearing that signature bag of his. Despite all this time, it's still in impeccable condition. It makes me wonder, does he wear the same one day in and day out, or does he replace it with a new one every day? Angel, it's good to see you again. You always say that, Darius. You know I'm stuck working the afternoon to night shift until this bozo over here decides to stop making my life hell. Darius stops and stares at my boss through that one eye hole in his mask. Your boss is about to die. You asked for this shift. I playfully shove his arm. I know, I kid. You were kidding? Oh, okay. Darius makes his way around my boss, not taking his eye off him. I mean, the night shift can't be that bad, right? Plus, if you change shifts, you wouldn't get to see your favorite customer ever again. In a Little Inconvenience, your choices can impact Angel and Darius's relationship, as well as his behavior. Your decisions will also affect various scenes and will determine which ending you get. Be mindful of how you respond, because it could mean life or death for multiple characters. Ooh, okay. True, you don't get off until 7. And what would I do without my favorite customer? Say nothing. I'll admit, despite how weird he looks, seriously, where did he get that bag from? Darius is a friendly dude. All my regulars are, but having someone around my age to talk to while at work is nice. He's incredibly patient and attentive. It doesn't matter what topic I throw at him, he's always willing to listen. He's learned who my favorite artists are, is always eager to know what movies to watch, and even goes as far as to help me restock the store here and there. He's nice to have around, and if I couldn't see him much anymore, let alone at all, I think it'll sting a bit. And what would I do without my favorite customer? Darius scratches the bag sitting on his head and looks down at his sneakers, embarrassed as if he wasn't expecting me to agree so eagerly. I'm glad I could be useful. Yeesh, you make it sound like you're a useless sack of crap, Darius. Having you around always lifts my spirits, especially on delivery days. Give yourself a bit more credit, yeah? Yeah, you're right, Angel. You're always right. My boss leans over the counter. I'll let you work your customer service magic in peace, Angel. Appreciate that. He quickly takes his paid items and hurries off to his office in the back. The bag customer in front of me peeks over the counter at the steel door boss just escaped to. I didn't know he was going to be here today. He's never here. Had an issue with the card machines earlier, so he had to come in. Last thing I need is some maniac getting an attitude with me because I can only take cash. And if I was here to see that, they would have been taken care of. Really? Now, you can handle all the big scary guys that could walk in here? You'd be surprised at what I can do, Angel. Perhaps there's more to him than meets the eye. I admit, my interest is piqued. Would be neat to see it in action. What I wouldn't pay to see that. Well, I'm glad my favourite customer doubles as a bodyguard. Anything for my favourite cashier who provides me free snacks on the regular. And if you protect me, you can see more of that coming your way. I shoot him a playful wink. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go get some... work was so busy today I couldn't even take my lunch break. Well, that's illegal. You sure you don't want something more filling instead? We have sandwiches, wings, and hot dogs. As if he was in a horror movie, Darius turns his head slowly to the roller grill cooker. There are 16 hot dogs that have remained untouched all day. I'll pass on the hot dog. Damn, I guess our hot dog sales will continue to be non-existent. Well, grab a sandwich at least. I'm sure there's something you'd like. Did you make them? Yep. He zooms toward the direction of the sandwiches. Well, that didn't take much convincing. Bending down, I look under the counter for the disinfectant and cloth. Geez, we have so much receipt paper here. Wait, is that? Ugh, gross. Mike left his container of half-eaten lunch here, and what I need would be behind it. I push it aside and hastily grab the disinfectant and mangled yellow cloth. He's so going to hear about this. Boo! Jesus Christ! Out of instinct, I toss the bottle and cloth at the man who probably took 5 years of my life. Despite the bottle almost colliding with his face, he's laughing his ass off as if someone just threw pie at my face. You should have seen your face. Tristan, what the fuck? You almost made me piss myself. Consider that payback for scaring me last week after I got out of the shower. Oh, come on, we were both laughing about it afterwards. But that's where you made your mistake. You thought you were safe. Little did you know I was devising a plan to get you back. You sneaky little devil. You do know I'm going to get you back, right? And thus our little game of payback will continue for all eternity, until we're on our deathbeds. And then we'll prank each other in the afterlife, where everyone around us will get sick of our shit. I'm sure they'll forgive us. After all, we'll be the sexiest couple in the afterlife, or hottest, depending on where we end up. And who can stay mad at super sexy hot people? No one. I can't help but chuckle at our make-believe scenario. Imagine us, in heaven or hell, annoying the ever-loving crap out of our fellow angels or sinners. You're such a goober. Last time I checked, that was reason number 20 why you love me. He's not wrong. He leans forward with a smirk. So, what are you doing here? Just wanted to see you, that's all. You couldn't wait 2 more hours like you normally do? Nope, my fragile little heart wouldn't have been able to bear it. He gives me a quick peck on the lips and starts to gently rub my hands. Manning down the fort here will be like a good little assistant manager? Of course. That's why boss pays me the big bucks. You're right about that. He boops my nose. So, I have something I need to talk to you about. I arch a brow. About what? Don't look at me like that, it's nothing serious. My friends and I were thinking of... Excuse me? A loud, annoyed cough comes from behind Tristan that makes me jump. Shit. Tristan turns around and sees Darius standing right behind him with an armful of snacks, plus a couple of sandwiches. Some of us are trying to make a purchase. Can you move? Oh, shit. Sorry, dude. Let me get out of your way. Tristan lets go of my hands and steps aside. Darius' head follows him, and although I can't see through that hole in the paper mask of his, it feels as though he's glaring daggers at him. I see you two are well acquainted. His tone is pointed and cold. Was he put off by our, public attention. As much as I love Tristan, he does tend to go a bit far with the affection. Even when I'm at work. Sorry about that, Darius. Tristan, this is one of my regulars, Darius. Darius, this is my boyfriend, Tristan. Oh, so you're the infamous Darius that Angel's been telling me about. Should have figured by the bag on your head. Nice to meet you. He holds his hand out. Darius looks at it, then back at him, and then turns his back to him so he could face the counter. Yikes, rejected. I'm aware of who you are. I could hear you two chatting from down the snack aisle. Ouch. Though, despite the icy reception, my boyfriend continues to give him a radiant smile. The awkward tension in the store continues to grow as I quietly scan the items, and Tristan fails to initiate any conversation with Darius. With every failed attempt, that smile of his slowly uncurls into a frown. God, I hate this. I need to get the mood back on track. So... Hey babe, I'm going to jet. Need me to pick up anything on my way home? Oh, no. Nothing comes to mind. Gotcha. See you soon, and bye, Darius. He gives him one playful pat on the back, like they're best friends. It was nice to meet you. Darius doesn't respond to either his gesture or enthusiastic-ish remark. My boyfriend takes this as a cue to leave. He gives me one last wave before walking out. I look at the customer across from me. Even with Tristan gone, the air of tension is still there. Bring up something to talk about. I don't feel like she should apologize about it because it's like her boyfriend. What should I talk about? Your current pottery project. Do you remember that ceramic project I was telling you about? He lifts his head up. The fat raccoon? How could I forget? I still remember laughing at it when you showed me a picture of you working on it last week. Wow, what a complete 180. Note to self, Darius also loves raccoons. Whether or not they need to be chunky is to be determined. It's almost done. I just need to paint it. When you're done with it, I would love to buy it off you. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit of an attachment to the chunky fellow. Please, my home is in desperate need of new decor, and I just know your wonderful ceramic raccoon will give my living room some much needed life. Is his house really that bare? Yikes. I give Darius a good look over, wondering what lies beneath that mask of his. Perhaps the cutest pair of puppy eyes the world has ever seen, though his voice does a good enough job to pull at my heartstrings. I mean, I can always make another. Okay, as long as you'll give him a good home. I'll take good care of him, I promise. Anyway, your total's $16.92. Darius pulls a crisp $20 out of his wallet. You can keep the change. Consider it my down payment for the raccoon. You're going to need more than that if you want to secure that raccoon. He pulls out another 20. I was just joking. This is fine. I don't know if I should find it charming or alarming that he was willing to throw money at me like this. Oh, you were? Okay. He thankfully puts his wallet back into his pocket. He grabs his bag of stuff and he gives me a small wave. Have a good rest of your shift, Angel. Thanks. And you have a safe drive home. He saunters out of the store, leaving me alone to hear the soft humming of the heater and the light music playing from the radio overhead. Well, I have a few more things I need to get done before my shift's over in a couple of hours. Then I'm free to do whatever I want. Well, within reason, of course. Boss is here, probably monitoring the cameras while he has his feet kicked up on his overcrowded desk. Walking over to the other side of the counter, I grab the bottle of disinfectant and ragged cloth I threw at Tristan earlier, and start spraying the register area. Okay, just need to refill the chip section and I'll be golden. I enter the back area and go look through the shelves for additional product. Chips, chips, chips. Oh! Where are you, my precious money-making chips? I mumble it over and over again to myself as I pass by each open box. Ah, here they are. Getting on my tippy toes, I reach for the box. But before I can grab them, the lights have to go out. Again. Great. At least they went off as soon as I found the box. The last thing I need to do is search for them in the dark. Sighing, I grab the box off the top shelf and look over my shoulder. Boss, are these lights ever going to get fixed? It feels like I'm in a horror movie and I'm the unsuspecting store clerk who's going to get chopped up by the killer any moment I turn the corner. My voice travels down the hall to my boss's office. He rolls his office chair to the doorway and throws up his hands. Hey, it's not my fault. Blame the higher-ups for taking their sweet time approving the paperwork to get the electric guys to come in. If I were in the fancy schmancy leather chairs making bank, doing absolutely nothing, I might act the same way. Why bother lifting a finger when you don't get paid to do that? You wouldn't do the right thing if you were in their shoes? And I thought I knew you. Tisk, tisk, tisk. That goes to show you, Angel, you never truly know a person. Oh, here we go with the wise man knowledge. Let me out of here before he starts sprouting proverbs. A couple of hours later. Finally, I'm home. As soon as I step foot into my apartment, I'm greeted by a symphony of aromas coming from the kitchen and my adorable pitbull Oreo. I bend down and give him a good rub. His soft black and white coat feels so nice to the touch. Hey buddy, did you miss Mummy? I give him a few kisses. I hear loud footsteps coming my way and I look up to see Tristan above me with a plate of something delicious in his hand. No kisses for the chef? I cuddle Oreo. No, only kisses for Oreo. I give my fluffy child one last kiss and he responds with 1,000 of his own. And to think I made you this delicious carne asada. I hop to my feet and try to grab the plate from Tristan with my free hand. Gimme! Oh, now you're interested in me after finding out I made your favourite? Sorry, mi amor, but I won't give it up so easily. Playfully rolling my eyes, I cup his cheek and pull him in for a kiss. Alright, I'm satisfied. Here you go. He puts the plate down on the coffee table and fetches me a spoon. He takes a seat and I lay up against him before grabbing my meal. Oreo lays at the edge of the couch, eyeing my phenomenal stew. So how was the rest of work? Uneventful. So good. His encounter with Darius pops in my head and my stomach sinks a bit. Hey, I'm sorry about Darius. Not sure what got into him. He's never acted like that before. It was so out of left field. It's whatever. Not going to care about what Bagman thinks or says about me. Don't call him that. What? It's a fitting name for the guy. But it sounds rude. How would you like it if he called you Mr. Eggplant because of your hair? Not because of my... I shove my elbow into his pelvis, narrowly missing his eggplant. Oof. He lurches forward and I can feel him rest his chin on the top of my head. You're missing the point. If you ever bump into him again, for the love of God, do not call him that. Just call him by his actual name, and who knows, maybe you end up in his good graces. Still reeling from the critical hit to his pelvis moments earlier, he lets out a groan. I doubt that'll ever happen today, but sure. Whatever will make you happy, babe. Thank you. I stare into my hearty stew as I recount the rest of my shift. That's when I remember. Oh, you said you had something to talk to me about, yeah? Yeah, so the boys and I were thinking of going on a camping trip later this week for a few days. Are these the same boys where you all did late night karaoke after getting drunk at a club and you were so bad the workers had no choice but to kick you out? The same boys who got you high with that one time and you all thought you were animals? Need I remind you that you thought you were a cow? And then ate the Cobb salad I got you like it was grass? Well, the same boys. Before I could continue on, Tristan puts a hand on my mouth. Yes, the same boys. They're the only people I call the boys, mi amor. I shrug. Well, you know you don't need my permission to go hang out with them. Just be careful, okay? Actually, I was thinking maybe you could come with. I look over my shoulder and stare at him. Me? On a camping trip with them in the middle of the woods? He nods eagerly, just like Oreo, whenever he gets a bacon-flavoured treat. No. Aw, why not? As much as I like them, I'm not sure if I can handle a whole trip of you and your guys' shenanigans. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun until one of them has their head halfway in a bear's mouth because they wanted to feed it some of their camp food. Nope. Plus, who's going to watch Oreo? There is no way I'm trusting him in the hands of a stranger. Maybe your sister? We've been over this, Tristan. She's allergic to dogs. I would hate to put her through that for our sake. He lets out a sigh. Man, I was hoping to spend some more time with you in the great outdoors. Oh man, I hate seeing him pout like that. So I push myself upwards and give him a peck on the lips. He perks up a bit. Maybe after your trip we can plan a small romantic getaway somewhere. Just us and Oreo in the log cabin by the lake. We haven't done one of those in a while. I guess. But I really do want you to be with me on this trip. It'd make for good bonding experience for us all. Plus, if we had a fourth, that'll make it nice and even. We wouldn't have to worry about someone sleeping by themselves. I let out an internal sigh. On one hand, I get it. Who wouldn't want their girlfriend to be best buds with their friends? But on the other hand, I just wish he would drop it and let us plan something with just us. Sorry, but it's still a no, Tristan. I'm sure you'll find someone else to fill that empty spot and join that sausage fest of yours. Okay. We chat a bit more about the upcoming trip and where it will be at. Apparently, they have their eyes set for New Moon's campground. It's right on top of a mountain and there's a lake nearby where campgoers fish. That sounds nice. Maybe he'll take me there later in the year. Eventually, I finish up my stew and wash the plate before putting it in the dishwasher. I let out a loud yawn and the long day at work hits me like a sack of bricks. Sounds like someone's tired. He pulls me towards the bedroom. Come on, I'll tuck you in. I'll even let you be the little spoon this time. Oh, me? The little spoon? How considerate of you. He pulls me into the bedroom, making sure Oreo also comes along before turning off the living room lights and closing the bedroom door. Darius's point of view. I hate him. 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 I've hated him ever since I saw him with Angel a year ago. Who does that piece of shit think he is, putting his hands all over her like that? Like she's his plaything? And at work nonetheless. She would have been scolded if her boss came out and saw her doing that. He's such an inconsiderate piece of shit. And him smiling at me like it's okay for him to be with someone like her? What did he do to convince her that he was worthy of her love? I slam my hand down on my wooden desk. It shakes along with my box cutter from work. It doesn't make any sense. I've done so much for her. I keep her company at work. I make sure she's okay when she's driving home at night. I keep an eye on her when she's cooking. And for what? For her to be cuddled up to some man who thinks he's better than me? It should be me who's making dinner for her every night. I should be the one she's lying up against while we're sleeping under her blue comforter. I should be the one she's telling everything to. I slam my hand down on my desk again and I can feel bits of my skin scrape from the impact. I won't lose the most precious gift life has ever given to me to a bottom feeder. I glance up my green box cutter sitting a few inches away. It's been attached to my side ever since I started working at the fish market. You never know when you might need to cut something open. It's always there at the ready. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure of that. A sadistic sounding laugh escapes between my lips as I imagine him begging for his life as I kneel over him, weapon in hand. And with each beg I drive my box cutter deeper into him, just like how I cut up the fish at the market with my knife. his blood coating me like the fish guts when I'm halfway through chopping them up, his hands clawing at me like a helpless little fish flopping around after it's been exposed to air. Every time I cut up a fish, their pungent aroma fills my nostrils. It's a smell I'll never grow tired of. I wonder, what would your death smell like? Would it fill me with that same indescribable lust for carnage? Or would I discover a newfound level of ecstasy? We'll find out together, won't we, Tristan? Okay, so he's a little bit deranged. That was the end of the demo? No! I was hoping for more. Alright, well that was the demo. I'll have to find out when there's actually like the full game and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.